You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Let's have a look at today's finance. The CSX index is currently 524.87 points, up 1.03 points, or 0.20%. The daily exchange rate is 4,050 Khmer Real to the USD. Now a look at what else is happening in finance around the world.
Stocks rise, US yields slip, and market await Fed rate hike. Our goals of global equity markets edged higher on Tuesday while 10-year US Treasury yields slid from 3% levels as investors remained cautious, expecting the Federal Reserve to hike rates by the most of the single day since 2000 to curb inflation. Investors expect the Fed to hike rates by half a percentage point today as it detailed plans to reduce its $8.9 trillion balance sheet. The US Central Bank raised its policy interest rate by 25 points in March. MSCI's All Country World Index rose 0.39% and the Pan-European Stock 600 Index gained 0.53% the day after the flash crash in Nordic markets caused a trade involving a single Citigroup sale order. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 0.2%, SP 500 gained 0.48%, and the Nasdaq Composite added 0.22%. 9 of the SP 500 sectors rose, led by a 2.87% gain in energy, while oil and gas jumped 4.1% in Europe to lead markets there. Overnight in Asia, Australian Central Bank raised its key rate by a bigger than expected 25 basis points, lifting the Aussie dollar as much as 1.3% and hitting local shares. The Bank of England is expected to raise its rates on Thursday and the fourth time in a row. The dollar dips before Fed, Aussie gains after a rate hike. The US dollar slipped against a basket of currencies on Tuesday as investors evaluated how much the Federal Reserve expected move to hike up rates this week and beyond already priced in. Fed funds futures traders expect the Fed benchmark to raise up 2.89% by the year end from 0.33% now. The dollar index was last at 103.43, down 0.12% on the day after reaching 103.93 on Thursday, the highest since December 2002. The dollar index hit 20-year high last week on expectations that the US Central Bank will be more aggressive than peers in tightening policies, with inflation running at its fastest pace in 40 years. The Aussie dollar jumped after Reserve Banks of Australia raised its cash rate a surprising large at 25 basis points at 0.35%. The Aussie dollar was last up 0.6% at 0.7094 cents. The euro rose at $5.26 after 0.1% after dropping 1.047 last Thursday and the lowest since January 2017. Oil climbs 1% after US crude stocks signalled tightness supply. Oil prices rose at the start of Asian trade on Wednesday after industrial data shows drawdowns in US crude and fuel stockpiles, raising supply concerns and offsetting worries about slowing demand and a top import in China. Brent crude futures rose 89 cents or 0.9% to $5.86 a barrel by 2 o'clock GMT time. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 97 cents or 1% to $1.38 a barrel. In the United States, crude and fuel stocks fell last week. According to the market sources citing American Petroleum Institute figures, crude stocks by 3.5 million barrels for the week ended in April 29th. During the previous sessions, demand worries streamed up China's prolonged COVID-19 lockdowns that crude travel plans during the Labor Day holiday session caused prices to fall by 2%. European flash crash was the latest of many global over the past decade. The sudden drop in European shares on Monday following the enormous trade in the Nordic markets in the latest example of a flash crash, which the price of an asset quickly drops before bouncing back. The term flash crash became part of the market's lingo after the Dow Jones Industrial Average created more than 1,000 points in May 2010, wiping out nearly $1 trillion of shareholders' value before most rebounding in a matter of minutes. Here are some of the examples of recent flash crashes. December 4th to 5th, 2021, cryptocurrency Bitcoin crashed, wiping out its fifth of its value of the leading of $2 billion worth of positions being liquidated. February 25th, 2021, the prices of Treasury securities dropped sharply amid staying liquidity conditions before recovering an hour later. August 26, 2019, the Turkish lira tumbled as investors cut risk exposure, briefly boosted and safe yen against the lira. January 3rd, 2019, major currencies expected a flash crash against the yen, driven primarily by technical, not fundamental factors. October 7, 2016, sterling lost as much as 10% of its value in just a few minutes of trading, fueled by concerns about the vulnerability of currency and British access to Brexit. In 2016, a London-based trader was convicted of manipulating the futures market in a way of contributed of 2010 crash. August 24, 2015, US equity markets and equity-related future markets experienced unusual price volatility, sending the SPDR SP500 FT Trust down 7.8% 5 minutes after the market opened. The EFT recovered its losses within the next 5 minutes. October 15, 2014, the market of the US Treasury Secretaries experienced high levels and volatility of Treasury futures prices fell rapidly amid diminishing liquidity. The incident sparked a regulatory investigation while the founder since the cause. It noted record trade volumes, a decline in order book depth, and changes to order to flow the day and have contributed to the crash. May 4, 2010, unsettled market conditions combined the massive sell order for the popular futures security sent the Dow plunging around 9% in a matter of minutes before rebounding. So latest news of finance, tune in tomorrow for more.